on the UFC card on the ESPN platform. This is it, guys, because next year they're moving over to Paramount. Right now we're just starting the main card. There's 6 fights. I'm tuning in now because I'm interested in this fight. It's Bobby Green, aka King Green. He's taking on a fellow who's making his UFC debut. He's from Canada. His name is Lance Gibson Jr. He's from Port Moody, which is interesting because that's not a very big place, but it's in BC, which is the province. Most people have heard of Vancouver, BC. That's the biggest city there. If I'm not mistaken, Port Moody is on Vancouver Island. So it's interesting to me that a fellow who comes from basically kind of a small city, very small city in Canada, can make it to the UFC. I'm also curious here to see which version of Bobby Green, aka King Green, which version shows up. The ref is Mark Smith. So I feel like Bobby Green can be sometimes hot, sometimes cold. Give him credit for always stepping up to the plate. Okay, here we go. Right off the bat, Green is fighting with his hands down, throws a teep to the chest. Gibson Jr. is fighting. He's a stance switcher, I see. Switching from lefty to righty. Gibson Jr. is bouncing around more than Bobby is. Not sure why Green likes to fight with his hands all the way down. Very relaxed stance, but a little bit cocky. And here he goes. He's already pointing and talking. Green still talking, shaking his head at Gibson Jr., while Gibson's constantly moving side to side and switching stances, bouncing up and down. That's Gibson Jr. Yeah, Gibson Jr. is making these little stutter motions. Oh, Bobby Green with a spinning back kick. Doesn't quite connect to the target, but does land. Gibson Jr. with a head kick attempt. Green still has his hands low, right about by his waist. Green with a teep and several punches as follow-up. At the moment, Green is fighting out of lefty stance, but he's constantly just stepping in and out of stance. I guess that's a little bit of his sort of cobra-like mesmerizing movement, perhaps. Two minutes into this 5-minute first round, Gibson Jr. still bouncing on his feet, moving side to side. Sidestep, sidestep. Bobby Green tries to cut him off with a right to the head, left to the body. Oh. Gibson crowds him for a moment, has him up against the cage, but they maneuver off. They're back to center cage. Green still has his hands pretty much down by his waist. Green with a teep to the midsection. Another inside kick by Green. Preston Gibson takes small steps to advance forward. Now Gibson has his hands up in more of a classic boxing defensive position, like right at about collarbone height. Green with a hard single kick, see right now Green is only throwing single shots, whether it's a single kick attempt by Gibson Jr. Gibson still switching stances. Oh goodness, Gibson caught Green, knocked his head back a little bit with a straight left. They're both throwing bombs when they get close to each other, so this could end up in a KO. A little bit unpredictable here. Neither man has terrific boxing technique. Certainly, you can't say Green has great boxing technique if he's going to have his hands down that low. Green still talking to his opponent, of course. A little bit over a minute left to go in this first round. It's hard to say who's winning this round. So let's see what happens in the final 60 seconds. Ooh, both double reverse punch there. Gibson throws a spinning back kick and Green catches it. Green has the attitude like he's in a street fight, you know, like he just wants to talk mess to his opponent, kind of stare them down, fake them out. Oh, interesting overhand right there by Bobby Green. Just catches his opponent just barely. Calf kick by Green. Credit to Gibson Jr. for just staying so focused in spite of Green's taunting and showboating. Oh, spinning movement there from Gibson Jr. Ah, now they close distance. Gibson had a tie clinch there for a brief second and threw a knee. Hard to say who's more effective. I might give this round to Gibson. Close call in terms of who has the more effective aggression. Thanks very much who just dropped those jewels. I really appreciate it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for saying hi. Thank you for joining us. This is the UFC card. My name's DHamaguchi. It's kind of an impromptu live, as you can see. I'm pretty tired. I don't know if you joined us this morning, but I was up before 5 a.m. to get my workout in. It was a short workout, but it's better than getting nothing in, right? So... Oh, thank you so much for your message. And thank you to, who's it, Ocean V for the jewels. I really appreciate the gift. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. All right, here we go. Second round. Bobby Green, aka King Green, versus Preston Gibson Jr. Preston is a Canadian MMA fighter. I believe this is his UFC debut. He comes from a small town in British Columbia, which is the province of Canada that's on the west coast. Okay, Green opens with another teep. Hand still all the way down. Oh, and he drops Gibson there. Of course, Gibson bounces right back up. Green still talking mess to him. Gibson threw an inside kick there that landed. Gibson still moving well on the outside. Nice bouncy movement. Green throwing a single reverse punch there. It's almost like Bobby Green does a lot of just verbal feinting, verbal taunting. Uses that as a distractor, right? Instead of making a physical movement. And then we go Green with single hard right hands to the head and then to the body. Gibson misses with his calf kick. Preston catches Green's kick. Oh, the ref stops the action. I think he's indicating this might be a low. That was a low kick. I mean, kick to the groin, rather. So, referee stops the action to give Gibson Jr. time to recover from that. Yeah, front snap kick to the groin by Bobby Green. So Green just says sorry about that. The thing is, though, you can take the time out, but can you recover from that? That's the question. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for saying hi. And thank you so much for the gift from Ocean V. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, we're taking a break in the action here. Bobby Green just threw a front snap kick and it landed right square on his opponent's groin. So he has up to 5 minutes of timeout to recuperate. Hey guys, if you're joining us, just say hi. We're watching UFC, final UFC on ESPN. The main event is Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Manel Kape is from the country of Angola. He made his bones in the Ryzen FC promotions over in Japan. He won their championship and then got drafted, if you will, or got signed over to the UFC. So he comes from the same promotion that Yuri Prohaska came from, Ryzen Promotions in Japan. Okay, here we go. Back to the action. We got a little bit over 3 minutes left in this second round. Bobby Green still fighting with his hands all the way down by his sides. Preston Gibson did a nice job catching Bobby Green's head kick. Throws a punch. Oh, nice double takedown by Gibson Jr. Now he has Bobby Green inside control with a reverse head grip right by the cage. Very nice job by Gibson Jr. So he's got two reverse hooks, one over Green's head and one over his leg, his quad. He released the leg. A little scrambled by Bobby Green, but Gibson still has a body lock from behind. They're both on their feet. Bobby Green is wisely trying to move back over to the cage. I'm not sure if Green's still trying to talk. But Gibson has a body lock. Ooh, nasty knee to the back of the thigh. And a foot stomp from Gibson Jr. Another Gibson with more foot stomps and knees from behind to Bobby Green, who's facing the fence. Green gets a single leg grip, doesn't quite get the takedown, persisting with that, but he breaks away. Now they're moving back to center cage. Green is still doing the street fighter pose, got his hands down by his sides, talking mess. Gibson throws a front snap kick. Green shakes his head. Oh, nice hard right hook from Preston Gibson. So this is Gibson's round. If we gave Bobby Green the first round, we definitely have to give this round to Gibson Jr. With that beautiful double takedown and some of these strikes landing quite clean. Nice calf kick, but Bobby Green follows up with a nice one too that lands. All right, so under a minute left to go here. Bobby Green persistently keeping his hands low. Throws a single kick. Preston Gibson is still moving around the cage laterally. There he goes, sidestepping to his right. Oh, goodness. Bobby landed two punches solid there that landed very well on Gibson Jr.'s chin. Gibson landed inside kick just now. Less than 30 seconds to go here. Appears that Gibson is very focused and sticking to his game plan. Not getting distracted by Bobby Green. Oh, fast and furious exchange of hard shots here in the closing seconds of the second round. Green is showboating to the end. Well, I would give Gibson Jr. that second round. So let's say we gave Bobby the first round. Now it comes down to who wins the third. All right, we are on commercial break, you guys. So tell me if you're watching the fights. Tell me what combat sport fights you're interested in to close out 2026. You guys know that there's a fight between Naoya Inoue and an unknown named Alan Picasso that takes place 2 days after Christmas on December 27th. I appreciate all your kind words, everybody. All right, here we go. Third and final round between Bobby Green and Preston Gibson Jr. All right, Bobby opening up again with his hands all the way down by his side. Gibson Jr. moving around laterally around the perimeter of the cage. Gibson making these little feinting motions as if he's going to strike. Gibson circling to his right and then back to his left. Neither man has opened up yet in this third and final round, but I would say both men should understand they need this round if they want to get a win. They need this round and they need a KO or a sub. So at this point, it looks like more likely we'll get a KO on the feet than we will get a sub on the ground, because I'd say 95% of this fight is taking place on the feet. I would like to see I would like to see Bobby Green take this a little more seriously and actually throw more meaningful strikes. Okay, that was a sort of half side kick attempt there by Bobby Green. His inside kick missed the target. Gibson with a head kick attempt. Bobby's inside kick misses. Green still talking mess, acting like he's in a street fight. I mean, as entertaining as this is, I don't know that it's an effective fight style, if you want to call it that. It's more like sort of a street fight attitude and street fight level of output. Okay, Preston with a single leg gets Bobby down to the ground. Bobby fighting with the legs, scrambles, gets back to his feet. So at this point, I would say Green needs a knockout. We're at the halfway point in the third and final round here. Gibson looking really fresh. He obviously came in very good condition. With that constant lateral movement. Oh, nice right hand lands for Bobby Green. But for Gibson Jr. to be able to take these shots, he's definitely in excellent condition. Gibson still circling. Neither man is throwing anything at the moment. They're just staring each other down. Exchange of big right hands. Both men miss, though. Oh, 3 punches thrown by Bobby Green. The third one does land. Oh, man, he's doing his Nate Diaz walk. I don't know what else you want to call that. Oh, brother. Okay, so, yeah, he's still doing the Nate Diaz walk towards Gibson. A minute and a half left here in this third and final round between Bobby, aka King Green, and Lance Gibson Jr. Gibson Jr. misses with his head kick, but But Green just isn't doing enough to making anything happen here. He's got a minute left to do something, and I think Green needs the KO. Oh, Gibson misses with his left hook, and Green comes back with 2 punches that land. All right, we've got less than a minute now. Oh, Green catches Gibson's kick, takes him down to the ground. Is he going to get the ground and pound here? Green in north-south. Gibson on bottom. He's got 30 seconds to get the victory here. Bobby tries for some heavy ground and pound. But his ground and pound is to the body. I don't think Gibson Jr. is going to tap from that. Now he's going ground and pound to the head. Gibson rolls over onto turtle position, and that's the bell. So Bobby Green raises his hands like he won. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're watching the UFC Fight Night. Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval is the main event. This is the first fight of the main card, which is Bobby Green, a.k.a. King Green, versus a Canadian fighter named Lance Gibson Jr. All right, on commercial break. Tell me what fights you guys are looking forward to. What boxing fights are you guys looking forward to? You can scroll down into the description, and I put a link to my fights. My fights are all on this YouTube channel, so that way you can figure out who I am. My name's DHamaguchi. I'm a pro fighter. Oh my gosh. Split decision victory to Bobby Green. Wow. That's a bit of a gift. Early Christmas gift. Oh, wow. So, Bobby Green's opponent took this fight on just a few days' notice, so he did great. But I really wasn't that impressed with Bobby Green's performance in this fight. I mean, he eked out a win, but he just doesn't do enough in the fight. He doesn't do enough actual fighting. So I guess he officially changed his name to King. I don't know, that's a little weird, but it is what it is, right? I'll give him this much. He is definitely in shape, but there's just such a low output from King Green, Bobby Green, that I'm just not that impressed with him. So 2 judges gave it to Green, and one gave it to um, Gibson. Speaks volumes for Gibson because he took the fight on such short notice. So hopefully he gets, he gets to come back, fight again with the UFC. Excuse me. Okay, next up, I think we have somebody named. It's another Oliveira, but it's not Charles. Versus Mario Bautista, who's got some interesting submissions. All right, guys, we're watching UFC Fight Night in Vegas. This is the last UFC that's ever going to be on ESPN, taking place at the Apex in Las Vegas. Oh, my bad. That's taking place next year, February 7th. Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Mario Bautista from the US versus Vinicius Oliveira from fighting out of Brazil. All right, interesting. Laura Sanko is wearing a tie over a collared button-down dress shirt. So I don't know what the deal is there, but at least unlike all the boxing guys, she's wearing a tie. Okay, the next fighter up is a guy whose first name is Kennedy. I can't pronounce his last name. Versus Marcus Buchecha. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. We're watching UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. Manel Kape and Brandon Royval are the main event, and this is coming up. We're coming up on the second fight of the main card. First fight, Bobby Green won a somewhat controversial split decision over a last-minute opponent. I personally didn't think Bobby Green looked good, but he looked like his typical self with a lot of showboating and a lot of trash talking. Never stopped talking the entire time. All right, we're on commercial break, so tell me what fights you're looking forward to. Okay, next up is a heavyweight fight versus a guy named Kennedy versus Buchecha. Oh, Buchecha fights out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. That's an interesting place because it's like got a huge Japanese Brazilian population there. All right, so here we go. Heavyweight fight. Uh, all right, we're on commercial break again. All right, tell me what fights you guys are looking forward to in the upcoming weeks or even in early next year, January, February of 2026. Are you guys having a good December? Are you having a good weekend? What do you think of the fight in quotations that's happening on the 19th? Are you guys going to tune into Netflix for that one? Um, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to boycott that or if I'm going to cover that one. Who do you think wins? How do you think AJ does? Are you guys Anthony Joshua fans? Do you think we'll get to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? Man, these commercial breaks are killing me. How's your guys' weekend going? Please say hi if you're joining us here on this live stream. This is coverage of the UFC Fight Night. Last UFC broadcast with ESPN forever, because they're moving over to Paramount in January. I'm sure if you're a UFC fan, you're already well aware of that. The idea is that pay-per-view and whatnot will cost a lot less. We just have to join the and get the Paramount subscription, I guess. I think it's just under a hundred. I think it's under a couple $100 for the whole year. So the theory there is you get to watch everything for $120 a year, something like that. I mean, it's cheaper than DAZN, which is $30 a month. All right, more commercials here, guys. This is excruciating, but say hi so we have something to talk about. All right, it looks like we're finally ready, and it looks like the fighters are already in the cage. All right, so they just chose to show more commercials than show us the walkout. Kennedy Zekchukwu, I think that's how you say it. He's favored to win this fight according to the betting odds. All right, we have Marcus Buchecha. He's 5-2, 250 pounds. Actually, it's a pick'em fight, is what they're saying. Buchecha is supposed to be a grappling expert. Kennedy Zekchukwu. He's from Nigeria originally. Okay, here we go. Herb Dean is the ref. All right, Kennedy fighting out of southpaw stance, Buchecha out of orthodox. Looks pretty clear that Buchecha is just going to use his strikes to get close distance and then try to get Kennedy on the ground. Right now, Buchecha is the one circling to his right. Buchecha certainly looks a little bit awkward on his feet, but that doesn't mean he can't use his striking to get to his grappling. I'm guessing that's his game plan. Kennedy, on the other hand, is incredibly focused, making small steps forward, advancing. Oh, Buchecha gets in, gets a single grip. Kennedy's over by the cage, on his knees. Kennedy goes for a single grip himself. Buchecha gets the head and a leg. Oh, Buchecha has the body lock from behind Kennedy. Switches over to like a leg lock position on the ground. He's fighting for that leg. Kennedy can't afford to just sit there. Buchecha's facing down towards the mat. Buchecha's just throwing elbows at Buchecha's quadricep, or hamstring rather. Buchecha turns in. Still has position on Kennedy. Kennedy now rises to his feet. Buchecha has a body lock. They're both against the cage. Looks like Buchecha's gonna. Okay. Buchecha still has a body lock from behind. Switches to a single. Kennedy still against the cage. Buchecha gets a single, has Kennedy down on the ground. He's in his half guard. Oh, he loses that position, but takes him down again. Has seatbelt, has his hooks in. Gets the body triangle. All right, this is not good look for Kennedy because Buchecha is an excellent grappler and he has Kennedy's back. Oh, Kennedy scrambles a bit, gets to his side. Buchecha still has top control here. He's following Kennedy up the side of the cage. Still got the body lock. Looks like he might try to take him down again or just ride this out a little bit. Kennedy switches to get a wizard grip. Gets one underhook. Buchecha throws a knee. Now Kennedy has his back against the cage. Buchecha has the wizard. Kennedy has Buchecha against the cage. Now Bautista with 2 overs. Buchecha with 2 overs. Oh, Herb Dean stopped the action. I guess there was a low blow from Kennedy versus Buchecha, so Herb Dean issues an official timeout. I guess that was a knee to the groin. Pretty clear cut on the camera. All right, what fights are you guys looking forward to in the UFC? All right, Buchecha has a full 5 minutes to recover here, so we're a minute into his 5 minute timeout. Looks like he's okay because he's walking towards the center cage. Herb Dean checks with both fighters. Says time in. Okay. So Buchecha just used 1 minute of the potential 5 minutes. All right, Buchecha still fighting righty. Kennedy fighting lefty. Now, Kennedy's the one who's got Buchecha moving on the outside. Buchecha moves in, gets a single leg grip. Doesn't get the takedown, but forces Kennedy back towards the cage. Gets another single grip. He's got Kennedy pressed against the cage. Kennedy reverses that. Now he gets Buchecha on his back. He's in side control position. This is an interesting turn of affairs. So Kennedy has Buchecha down, but Buchecha scrambles up, gets back his single leg, but releases that just to get back to his feet. Less than half a minute to go here. Buchecha misses with an overhand right. Oh, and right at the end of the round here, Buchecha landed a couple hard shots. Buchecha on his back on the ground. And time will run out here. But in the last few seconds, Kennedy pulled it together here and actually hurt Buchecha. All right, how's December treating you guys? Are you enjoying the holiday season? All right, here we go. Second round, heavyweight fight. Main event is Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. All right, Buchecha misses with a head kick, spins all the way around. Buchecha's fighting out of orthodox stance, and Kennedy's fighting out of southpaw stance. All right, I don't know what just happened there. It looks like an eye poke. Buchecha pulls away. He's lying on his back on the ground, touching his left eye, kind of grimacing. All right, and Herb Dean has already started an official timeout. All right, not good. Let's see the replay. Yeah, Kennedy extended his finger straight out into Buchecha's eye. I don't know. Then Kennedy was trying to say something to the ref. I don't know what he was trying to say. All right, so Herb Dean is talking to somebody outside the cage. I think he's having a doctor come in. The doctor or the medic is giving Buchecha something to wipe his eye with. This would suck if it's like another Tom Aspinall situation. All right, we are a minute and a half into the 5-minute timeout. The thing is, if you injure somebody's eye, it's like it Doesn't matter if you take a point away or not. You've already injured the other person's eye, so that. Okay, now the medical person is gave Buchecha something else to wipe his eye with. He shakes his head. I'm not sure what the question was. Oh yeah, Kennedy's fingers were fully open and extended, as I mean, Buchecha kind of walked into it, but Kennedy's fingers should not be spread and extended forward like that. Okay, so now Herb Dean is talking to Kennedy. I assume he's warning him, but if the damage is already done, it's like, oh, so Herb Dean's taking a point. That's fair. Okay, now Herb Dean is talking to Buchecha. Okay, so here we go. The fight resumes. There's still 4.5 minutes remaining, so that happened right at the beginning of the second round here. Okay, we're watching UFC Fight Night at the Apex in Las Vegas. This is a heavyweight bout between the Nigerian Kennedy and Brazilian Buchecha. So far, I would say Buchecha won the first round. Hard to say here in the second. Okay, now Buchecha has Kennedy against the cage. He's figure forward Kennedy's leg from behind. He's got the body lock with his hands around Kennedy's waist. Kennedy fights the hands to break that body lock. Okay, now Bautista throws a knee to Kennedy's midsection and a couple elbows. Kennedy and Bautista are now off the cage. I don't think Bautista should throw those head kicks because he misses with them. Oh, nice knee and a couple strikes land for Kennedy. Buchecha's in a seated position. Herb Dean motions for Buchecha to stand up and for the fight to resume. Oh, nice shoot by Buchecha. He gets a double takedown. He now has Kennedy in side control. Looks like he's switching. Kennedy turns on his front. Buchecha gets both hooks in from behind. Buchecha has Kennedy's back. Kennedy's fighting two hands on one to keep Buchecha from getting that rear naked choke position with his arm. Buchecha, however, has that body triangle with his legs locked around Kennedy's waist, so he can just wait here. He's got 2.5 minutes to work. This is the second round. So this is a matter of patience for Buchecha. So Buchecha has back control. He's got a head and arm. Now Buchecha's just kind of keeping his weight on top of Kennedy. I think he's waiting for him to make a mistake. Kennedy's somewhat on his side on the ground. He's fighting Buchecha's hands, but elbow from above from Buchecha. Now Buchecha has both hooks in again, letting Kennedy squirm. Kennedy's turned and facing up now, so Buchecha's coming down with hard elbows on Kennedy's head, elbows and fists. This could be the end of the fight. Kennedy's just covering up, crossing both arms over his head. That's not going to be enough to keep Buchecha from punching. Right, Buchecha basically has mount position now, throwing hard right hands to Kennedy's head. There's a minute left in this round. Kennedy is covering up. Oh no, elbow straight down. Okay, Buchecha picks up the pace here. Picks up the tempo. Now Buchecha takes a break from his ground and pound. Just stays heavy on Kennedy. Kennedy's not going anywhere. Looks like he's transitioning here. Maybe he's going to go for an arm. Oh, yep. Yep, he's going for the arm bar. He may not get this. He's only got 8 seconds. Okay, so he's... But that's okay. Nice move. The round ends. Great round for Buchecha. So I think Buchecha has this up to 2-0 for the Brazilian versus the Nigerian. All right, what do you guys think of AJ fighting Tyson Fury in 2026? Do you think that's going to happen? Is that a fight you would pay to watch? I'm DHamaguchi. We're on commercial break here from the UFC broadcast. This is the last UFC that's going to be on ESPN. So you can tune in right now and still catch it. It's for free, ESPN, right? Now, the main event on this card is Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval. And we are back to the action. Final round of this heavyweight matchup between a Nigerian named Kennedy versus Buchecha from Brazil. Right away, Buchecha shoots in, doesn't quite get the takedown, but gets a body lock from behind and walks Kennedy over to the cage. Buchecha sits down to try to get Kennedy to the ground. He's being persistent here. Let's see if he gets this takedown, and he does. All right, Buchecha has an interesting leg position from bottom. That's really a high-level position to fight out of in terms of jiu-jitsu. Because basically he's got Kennedy sitting on his chest, but he has his legs interlaced around one of Kennedy's legs. So there's a way you can maneuver your opponent from this position, but you wouldn't dare attempt this unless you're a jiu-jitsu black belt. Okay, so Kennedy's just trying to throw strikes to Buchecha's leg. And let's see how Buchecha uses this position. So Buchecha's maintaining his own body lock around Kennedy's waist. Kennedy, I don't know why he's pulling on that leg, on Buchecha's leg up. There's no way he's going to get a leg lock like that, so I'm not sure why he's doing that. This is very interesting strategy on the part of Buchecha. I think he knows that Kennedy is an advanced enough grappler or jiu-jitsu to know what to do from this position. All right, Kennedy's still throwing elbows from this interesting seated position. So Buchecha does have to get out of that there. All right, Kennedy's now trying to do a leg lock or something, but that's not going to work from that position. So Bautista's still persisting with that body lock. Really high-level grappling here from Buchecha. So both men now in a seated position with Buchecha on bottom, if you will. Kennedy's trying to throw elbows straight back, hoping they land. Buchecha still has that body lock around Kennedy's waist. Amazing. He's got one leg in, still interlaced under Kennedy's leg. Now he's maneuvered Kennedy around. They're up back to standing, and Buchecha still has that body lock. Very strong grappling skills. Okay, now he turns, goes for the double position, drops down to his bottom, throws guard, kind of. Okay, but was that a mistake? Because here comes Kennedy with the ground and pound from above. All right, Buchecha attempting the roll here, but he's still in bottom position. Got Kennedy's legs interlaced. All right, Kennedy's throwing elbows to Buchecha's rear end. 1 minute left. Buchecha doesn't quite have, he's got a figure four around one of Kennedy's legs. Doesn't quite have position to get the leg lock. Yeah. Backstroke gets... Oh, Buchecha had Kennedy's head there for a second. Right now, Kennedy's got one of Buchecha's legs figure forward. Buchecha comes out to turtle position, gets up on one knee. Now Kennedy's behind. Got Buchecha's back and is trying to do some ground and pound. Buchecha's on all fours. Will Kennedy get the stoppage here? Oh, no. Bell ran out. I would give this fight to Buchecha, but we'll see. Because Kennedy actually finished in a stronger position there than Buchecha did. All right. We're on commercial break, so let me know tell me what was your best fight for 2025? This is weird. They're still running ads for UFC that took place last Saturday. They're still running ads for UFC 323. Very strange. All right, here we go. Decision on this heavyweight fight between the Nigerian Kennedy and the Brazilian Bautista. Wow, his left eye that got poked looks really bad. Very swollen. That sucks if there's any serious damage. His eye does not look good at all. Oh my goodness. Although I don't know if that's from the poke or from some elbows. Oh my gosh, they called it a draw. That means Kennedy would have won, but he lost a point for the low blower for the eye poke. I think it was for the eye poke. Well, I hope they take care of Buchecha. Actually, I thought Buchecha won that fight, but... Oh, so I didn't realize they just crowned a BJJ champion. Do you guys watch BJJ? I haven't tuned in to watch that. All right, are you guys familiar with this Minty's Bet person? Um, I'm guessing maybe there's somebody who has a big social media following or something. All right, my name's DHamaguchi. I'm a pro fighter. I am a judo champion. You can see some of my fights on this channel. Just scroll over to all the fights with purple thumbnails, and a lot of my fights are posted here. We're watching the UFC final broadcast with ESPN. The main event is Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval. Uh, right now, we are 2 fights into that main card. We saw Bobby King Green win a split decision versus a last-minute opponent. I actually thought his opponent won that fight, but the judges gave it to Green. Then we just saw a heavyweight matchup between a Nigerian fellow and a Brazilian. That wound up as a draw. I thought the Brazilian won because I felt he dominated on the ground. All right, we're still between fights here, so they're showing us some fight highlights. Okay, so we're looking at Melquizael Costa from Brazil. I'm not sure who he's taken on. Thanks for saying hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Oh, judo versus PJJ. You have to go with BJJ. Well, where are we starting the fight? Sitting on our butts or standing up? Also going for number 1 in this chat. Okay, so that's cool. It's good to shoot to be the best. Of the Gracies, who do you like the best? My favorite is Hickson for sure. Melquizal Costa versus Morgan Carriere. So here's what I've observed with when it comes to someone who does judo versus someone who does BJJ. A lot of times in a judo practice, we start out doing ground fighting. We call it newaza, where you start off in a kneeling position, and like that's where you bow, right? That's how you start, and A lot of times a BJJ guy will be able to make a judo guy tap, even if it's a black belt in judo and they're not a black belt in BJJ, right? The BJJ guy might make the judo guy tap more than once. But then as soon as we switch over to stand-up fighting, which is called Tachiwaza Randori, um, like straight away, right off the bat, the judo black belt will just throw the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, like we call that an ippon throw. It means it just go flying through the air, smack down onto the ground. I mean, you tell me, how many times do you want to get thrown like that? Because I mean, anyways, like I said, if the fight starts standing up, it's definitely the judo guy. If you're gonna start on the ground and only leave it on the ground, then yeah, the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy probably has, um, well, they definitely have more submissions than the judo guy does, because judo we're only allowed to do straight arm bar and chokes with the gi. We could do actually what we call a rear naked choke, but we can't do guillotines. You can't do neck cranks. Can't do anything that puts pressure on the shoulder. So you really can't do a kimura or an Americana. And then of course we can't do any lower body submissions. So no heel hooks, no leg locks, no toe um, toe holds. None of that stuff. What is my belt color? Black. I mean, you tell me, how is the BJJ guy gonna win the stand-up aspect? I'm not saying he can't, but how's he gonna do it? See, the thing is, in judo, they used to allow what they call a double leg. I don't think it's allowed anymore. Um, so technically, a judo person, like an old school judo person, and really any judo person, should know how to defend against single and double leg takedowns. But unfortunately, since the rules of the game keep changing, people don't train for that as much or at all. Almost all fights go to the ground. Well, yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Street fights? Not all judo fights will go to the ground. You know what I mean? I mean, BJJ fights go to the ground because that's where most BJJ guys want to go, and you can throw guard. So you're not allowed to throw guard in judo. So if you want to go to the ground in judo, it has to be off an attempted throw. It can't be from just throwing yourself on your back, and you can't just sit down. The problem is, you know, real jujitsu, not Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but real jujitsu, in theory, is supposed to include all the judo aspect. Judo was supposed to have less techniques than jujitsu because they removed all the dangerous submissions. But everything else that a judo person can do, a jujitsu person is supposed to do. But Brazilian jiu-jitsu just completely ignores the stand-up game and just goes straight to fighting on the ground. All right, here we go. Next fight on the main card. Morgan Carrière or Charrière from France. Looks like he's a very explosive fighter. He's taking on a fellow from Brazil. Oh, you're talking about street fights. So you want a judo guy and a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy to start street fighting. Well, the guy who strikes harder, the guy who with the better strikes might win. You know what I mean? So it may not even come down to the judo and jiu-jitsu. All right, this is interesting matchup between a long, lanky guy versus a slightly more compact guy in Charriere or Carriere. I don't know if it's Carriere or Charriere. Costa's opening up with some kicks. Costa's fighting out of southpaw position, and Charriere's fighting out of orthodox stance. Both men exchanging inside kicks here. Charriere's a very explosive striker. Charriere's moving around to his left on the outside of the cage, and Costa's following right along. Some low kick attempts from Costa, but neither man has thrown a lot of strikes just yet. Oh! And Costa with a big head kick drops Charriere, and that's it. Wow. One kick knockout. Holy cow. That was incredible. What a performance from Costa. Perfectly placed head kick. Wow. Charriere's conscious and in seated position, but obviously disappointed. That was a perfectly placed head kick by Costa. Holy cow. And on a side note, Costa's got a very interesting hairdo. He's got turquoise and magenta, like polka dot designs on his head. Wow, he dropped Charriere with that head kick. Charriere falls flat on his back. He's not unconscious, but he's just looking straight up as if he can't believe it. Costa goes to, continue ground and pound, but the ref was perfect in intervening right there. Wow. Incredible. Wow, Costa's Corner was so happy. Well, congratulations to him. That was a picture perfect head kick right there. He definitely should get a bonus for that one. That's going to be a meme starting right now. Is there any head kicking in? There's no striking in judo, just like there's no striking in BJJ. So I'm doing live fight commentary for UFC fight night. This is the last fight night. This is the last UFC card on ESPN. The main event for this fight night is Manel, Kape, and Brandon Royval. So I stream my workouts sometimes, and I'll stream fight commentary. I hope I'm answering your questions. If you're enjoying the stream, folks, you're always welcome to leave a jewel or two. Every penny helps, so it's always appreciated. You can leave a gift. Those are those little cool emojis that pop up. Those are always fun. You can always leave us super thanks on any video. It doesn't have to be this one. You could double back later, find any video, go down to the comments, scroll over to the right, and leave a super thanks. It's always appreciated. All right, I appreciate you. Thanks for all that. All right, so now, wow. Just 1 minute and 14 seconds into that round, Costa landed that perfect head kick. Good for him, and he's just so happy he's moved to tears. Wow, Bisping is in the ring to congratulate him. Have I been in a street fight? No. I mean, I've had people try to rob me or take my purse, but didn't get into a fight. So he's on a 6-fight win streak. Very emotional, Melky Costa. Wow. Just watching the replay of that head kick. Yeah, Charrier had his guard up, but I mean, it just didn't matter because of how Costa threw that kick with perfect placement and perfect mechanics. Wow. So I don't know if they give out bonuses on fight nights, but Melky sure deserves it. He'll get a lot of play because everyone's gonna clip that head kick and repost it. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. We're watching UFC Fight Night. All right, thanks. You too. Good luck with your BJJ. How are you doing? Good to see you. All right, so we're 3 fights in, 2 more fights, and then the main event. All right, one sec. All right, yeah, just had to switch positions there. All right, we are watching UFC Fight Night. It's the last UFC card ever to be broadcast on ESPN, and the main event is Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval. So we've seen the first 3 fights on the main card. Um, Bobby Green, aka King Green, won a split decision. I actually thought they could have given it to his opponent. His opponent stepped up on just several days' notice to accept the fight. So hopefully that they bring that fighter back again because he put on a very good show versus Bobby Green. Um, Second fight was a heavyweight matchup between a Brazilian and a Nigerian fellow. The Nigerian fellow got a point deduction for an eye poke. He also did a low, a knee to the groin, um, and it wound up being a draw, which meant had he not lost the point for the eye poke, he would have won. Well, I actually thought they could have given the fight to the Brazilian guy, but in any case, it wound up in a draw. And then the third fight on the main card that we just saw was a guy named Melky Costa from Brazil landed a perfect head kick versus a Frenchman, um, Charrier. Now Charrier wasn't unconscious, out, but he was flat on his back. So, um, yeah, that's gonna be a meme tomorrow, or if not, no, it'll be a meme sooner than tomorrow. It'll be a meme, and as soon as someone can clip that, because yeah, it was a perfectly placed head kick. Um, his opponent landed flat on his back. He was looking straight up, but the referee intervened before Costa could follow through with any ground and pound. Okay, here we are back at the Apex. All right, this entire broadcast they've been talking about the Stuart Scott and his foundation to fight cancer. Okay, so the next fight up is Cesar Almeida from Brazil. He is taking on Cesar Olejniczuk, fighting out of Poland. Sorry, I cannot say his last name properly. It's interesting how the UFC has decided at these fight nights that one person will be in black attire and the other guy will be wearing white. So I guess instead of the blue corner and the red corner, they got black outfit versus white outfit. I'm not so sure why they go with not even colors, just black and white, but I guess there's probably some reason to it. Maybe they don't want anybody to say pick a color because it's representing their flag or something. I don't know. I guess they only want to have colorful ring outfits at the big UFC events. I'm not sure what that's about. All right, if you're joining us just now, welcome. We're doing a live stream, live commentary on this UFC fight card, UFC fight night. My name's DHamaguchi. I'm a pro fighter. I'm also a judo black belt, and I do live commentaries for boxing fights, for UFC fights. I do lives of some of my workouts, and I also do fight breakdowns and make shorts and share lots of thoughts about combat sport and life. So, yeah, do hit the subscribe button. Um, Scroll through all the videos with purple thumbnails are actual fights, professional fights, including mine. So if you want to see my ring resume, it's all right there for you to check out. All right, we are on commercial break between fights. We are a few fights away from the main event. All right. Yeah, now they're just showing us back a lot of UFC highlights, including our buddy Conor McGregor. Izzy, Amanda Nunes, Poirier, Habib, Kamaru, Peter Yan, Cody No Love, Alex Pereira, Amanda Nunes. Whoa. Yeah, they're just showing us lots of UFC highlights, I guess, from all the time with ESPN. Leon Edwards, Izzy, Robbie Lawler, Holloway Gagey. Valentina, Marab, Ilya. Patty, Henry, Leon. Yeah. Wow, that was a nice little piece for all the highlight reels. 7 years worth of highlights. So that was a pretty cool little piece. You'll enjoy that. I'm sure they'll repost that on social media. And we're killing time here between fights. Sorry, guys. Let me know how your weekend's going. So another recapping a little bit of the highlights, and Laura Sanko brought up the fact that, UFC established Fight Island during COVID when all other sports were closed out. UFC carried on, was the only pro sport being able to continue. All right, we got 3 more fights to go. All right, we got a middleweight coming up. 185. Okay, Cesar Almeida. Wow, big puncher. Cesar Olajeszak. Okay, he's from... Yeah, this is his UFC debut. He's fighting out of Poland. Okay, we'll see how this plays out. Interesting. So the UFC uses this fight night as an opportunity to give newcomers a chance to step in the cage with someone with more experience. Okay, so this Cesare guy looks like he fights out of southpaw stance. Oh yeah, I think he did. I think he did well on the Contender Series. I'm guessing that's why they brought him in. Kind of robotic in his delivery, verbally. Doesn't have a lot of personality, but that's not what wins the fight. All right, so we're back to commercial break. So let me know what... Are you guys going to watch that so-called fight on the 19th of the month on Netflix? I'm not even going to say the name, but he's fighting AJ. Who's tuning into that? Hi, everybody. Welcome to this live stream. We're watching UFC Fight Night. It's the last broadcast on ESPN. Um, they've also been doing a tribute to uh, that the former broadcaster with them who started the Cancer Foundation, or the Foundation to Fight Cancer. So there's been lots of footage of that as well as sort of their homage send off to ESPN. What have been your favorite moments on with the UFC on ESPN thus far? I think it was like 6 years, correct? Something like that. Yeah, because it was pre-COVID, through COVID, and post-COVID. Prior to that, they were on Fox, right? And now they're moving over to Paramount. So are you guys going to buy subscription to Paramount so you can watch UFC? I mean, it's definitely cheaper than the Zone. The Zone is like $30 a month, and that's only for the Zone fights. Paramount, I think it's what, $10 a month, and you get the UFC stuff plus you get all the other stuff that's on streaming on Paramount. So it'll make it a lot less expensive, obviously. All right. So you guys watching this UFC card? Let me know if you're watching it. This is the second stream I'm doing today. I did one super early this morning for my workout, which was very brief, but at least we got it in. All right, lots of commercial breaks here with this. So I'm hoping on Paramount there's less commercial break. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's the commercial breaks that make it tough to do these streams because there's so much time between the fights, and these commercials get repetitive and just tedious. All right, are you guys enjoying December? Is it cold where you're at? It's not too bad here. I'm in Southern California, so I really can't complain. All right, so we have Almeida, who's 37. He weighed in at 186 versus Cesare, who's 25, so 12 years his junior, couple inches taller, weighed in about the same. They have about the same reach. So let's see how this plays out. Here goes Bruce Buffer with his announcements. Yep. Cesare is fighting out of Poland. All right, Almeida's fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. All right, the ref is Kerry Hatley. Not familiar with him. He's not really a familiar face to me, but... All right, let's see what Almeida brings here. He doesn't look terribly... Well, maybe that's just how he looks when he's focused. All right, Almeida's fighting out of orthodox stance, and Cesare is fighting out of southpaw stance. Very jittery motion from the Polish southpaw here. All right, Cesare tries with a rear body kick. Didn't quite do anything. Almeida has nice footwork. He switched back and forth. Almeida's just staying nice and poised, not making a lot of excessive movements here. Almeida's holding center cage while Olszewski moves around. Both men exchanging some low kicks. Olszewski looks like he's trying to feint out with his jabs. Oh, and Olszewski shoots right in for a double. Nicely done. Uses jittery jabs to shoot in for a double. Gets Almeida down to the ground. Side control. Now he's figure forward. Almeida's arm. They're very close to the cage. Olszewski has Almeida's head. I don't know if he has his head and arm from top. Olszewski throwing some shoulders to try to inflict damage. Almeida's trying to fight from bottom. Right now, looks like he's just holding him. Olszewski stays heavy on Almeida. Still has his head and arm. Using his shoulder as a battering ram to strike. Almeida looks like he's trying to work towards the cage. But Olszewski is wise to that, so he positions himself so he can push against the cage with his feet and drive Almeida's body away from the cage. So now Almeida's now he's driving him even further away from the cage, which is a smart move, so Almeida can't use the cage to try to get back up. All right. Now Olszewski is in Almeida's half guard, still maintaining that head and arm entrapment, so Almeida's trying to bridge and get out a little bit, but there's still just under 2 minutes to go here, and this has been all Olszewski. Now Olszewski has come around, so he's in Almeida's guard. Almeida has a half butterfly guard. Almeida wisely moves back towards the cage. Uses that butterfly to force Olszewski up and off of him, but Olszewski comes right back down. Now he's in Almeida's full guard. He's trapped Almeida's... No, he hasn't. Well, he's in top position. Almeida's got closed guard on the bottom. There's just under a minute to go here. So we have to give this round to Olszewski. Almeida trying to post Olszewski off, but that doesn't quite work. Half a minute to go here. Almeida starting to posture up. Oh, nice work. He gets to his knees, gets up on the cage, got his back to the cage. Very nicely done by Almeida. Now Almeida's defending with the overhook and under, trying to throw strikes to Olszewski's head. Just under 10 seconds here. Oh, and they break apart back to center cage, and the bell is going to go. That's it. End of the first round. We got to give that one to Olszewski because he had complete dominance on the ground there. All right, tell me what fights you're looking forward to in 2026 or the rest of 2025, if you can think of any. All right, we're on commercial break. This should just last 60 seconds because we're between rounds. UFC Fight Night, here we go. Second round of Almeida from Brazil versus Ojacek from Poland. It was all the. It was definitely that round went to Ojacek. Okay, so Almeida's now opening up round two with some kicks to the inside kick and a head kick. Ojacek, plenty of jittery motion. Another inside kick by Almeida. Now Almeida must know that he lost that first round, so I'm not sure what his game plan is, but since he's very efficient with his motion, I'm not sure if Almeida wants to go to the ground or he wants to stay on the feet. A nice head kick attempt by Almeida. Now Ojacek is the one that's making all this jittery motion, moving around on the outside. And that was effective in the first round because he used that jittery motion to set up an opening to shooting for a double. Almeida looks like he's a very focused fighter. Oh, nice counter right by Almeida. Ojacek shoots in for a double, doesn't quite get it, but he does get Almeida down to the ground right by the cage. Almeida has butterfly guard from bottom, though. Let's see what he does with it. Ojacek was trying to do some ground and pound. Stands up to his feet. Almeida comes down to all fours, but Ojacek has fighting to take his back. Ojacek has one leg laced. Almeida's going for like a reverse Kimura grip on on Ojacek's arm. Ojacek still is using his body weight to press Almeida against the cage. Tries to do a throw and he gets it. Okay, now he's got Almeida on his back. Ojacek is in Almeida's full guard. Well, actually, he's in full guard position, but Almeida must be a seasoned black belt because he's got kind of a butterfly guard. Now he just switched to half guard. We're back to where Ojacek is back in that position where he has Almeida's head and arm. And again, he's starting to use that shoulder to try to inflict some blows on Almeida's face. Now Ojacek's using his head to kind of post against Almeida's cheek. Two minutes to go here in the second round. Oh, a nice sweep, meaning Almeida just reversed position. Now he's in top position, and Ojacek is on the bottom. Almeida's in Ojacek's full guard. Let's see what he does with this position. All right, Ojacek from bottom is wisely trying to just lock up and pull Almeida down. In between, he's trying to throw strikes, but Almeida there with a bit of ground and pound, breaks away now. Ojacek bullies back. Now Ojacek in top position with Almeida on bottom again. This is an interesting back and forth bit of grappling here. All right, Ojacek Inside control again with Almeida's head and arm. Okay, this is not looking good for Almeida. He's, at this point, looks like he's losing 2 rounds. Less than a minute here to go. Oh, nice little move there by Almeida because he gets to his side. Oh, he manages to trap one of Ojechek's legs. Well, less than half a minute to go here, and even though Almeida has a half guard on bottom, I think we're gonna have to give this round to Ojechek again. And that's the round. Yeah, I would say Ojechek's up 2-0 at this point. So can Almeida rally in this third and final round to eke out a victory? Guys, if you're joining us on this live stream, my name's DHamaguchi. I'm a pro fighter. I'm also a judo black belt, and we're doing a live stream of the last UFC fight night to ever be on ESPN. Because, as you know, next year they're switching over to Paramount, and so we'll be able to pay, I think, just $10 a month or $120 for the year to get access to all of the UFC fight streams, which is pretty awesome. It's a lot cheaper than DAZN, which is $30 a month. So $360. No, more than that. Yeah, $360. How's your guys' weekend going thus far? All right, here we go. Third and final round between the Brazilian Almeida and the Polish Ojechek. Now, Almeida is 37 years old, so he's 12 years older than Ojechek. Oh, nice body kick attempt by Almeida. Another body kick attempt. Oh, and Ojechek shoots in for the double. Gets him right to the cage and elevates him and takes him down. Very nice takedown. Again, same position that we were in before. Side control with the head and arm. Right, let's see if Almeida has an answer from that position at this point. He did get a very nice sweep the last round, but he can't afford to stay here. Right, Almeida's working well, trying to get his weight over to his side, I think. I like how Almeida remains poised and patient, but you can't win a fight from bottom position. So Ojechek is just staying patient here in side control, which is the right thing to do. Okay, the ref is stopping them. Okay, I'm not sure what the ref just saw there, but he's sending Ojechek over to the other corner. I guess it was a low blow. So the ref is giving Almeida a timeout. I mean, low blow on the ground. Don't really see that too much, right? Oh, yeah, elbow to the groin. Good of the ref to catch that. All right, the ref asks him if he's ready. Oh, the ref warned Almeida not to throw and knee to the head from bottom. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Oh, nice jab there by Ojacek. Little touch jab, but effective. And then he feints to shoot in for a double. All right, Ojacek shoots in for the double, doesn't quite get it, but bullies Almeida back to the cage. Ojacek is in top position. Almeida's on bottom. Almeida has a butterfly guard. Half butterfly guard now. Almeida has an overhook. Ojacek has the underhook. Now, the only point to using that butterfly guard is to try to elevate your opponent. Almeida's trying to do some damage from bottom position, but that's pretty tough to do. Hi, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're watching UFC Fight Night. Last fight night ever on ESPN. This is a middleweight fight between a Polish fighter named Ojacek and a Brazilian fighter named Almeida. Oh, now Ojacek is in Almeida's half guard, no longer in side guard, and he's trying to use his shoulder to strike from top position, and he's working in a little ground and pound blows sporadically here. Okay, now Ojacek has switched to figure fouring Almeida's leg, but Almeida's worked his way back to the cage. He's back against the cage. Oh, nice work by Almeida. He fights to get to his knees. Let's see if he can get back up all the way. But as he's doing so, Ojacek does have a body lock, and he'll break the body lock every now and again to throw punches to Almeida's face. Right, Almeida on his knees now. Oh, not good, because Almeida just has his back, using some ground and pound. Has one hook in. All right, nice defensive work by Almeida. He's kind of a minimalist fighter, but this isn't going to win him the fight. All right, here we have Ojacek. Fights to get... Oh, nice work. Almeida does get back up to his feet. He has a whizzer, but time's going to run out for him, and they're going to give this fight, I think, all 3 rounds to Ojacek. All right, 10 seconds remaining. Cesar Almeida throws guard, tries for the guillotine, but it's not enough time. And the bell goes with Ojacek and Almeida's full guard. But yeah, I think all 3 rounds go to Ojacek. Not sure why Ojacek was on his back there right at the end. Did not look like he was in he looked like he was in a little bit of pain from something. All right, now we're back to the ads because it's the UFC. So just 1 second, please. Okay, here we go. A fight announcement. Yeah, no surprise, Cesare wins the unanimous decision. I guess that was a good little test for him versus Cesar Almeida. Are you guys looking forward to Gaethje versus Pimblett? I mean, I think Pimblett's absolutely right that Arman Sarukian has to get back in line, you know? Because he messed up a bunch of times, so even though he is rated number one, he can't just go straight at. They're not going to give him another title shot just like that. All right, up next we have Giga Chikadze. That's a familiar name. He's taking on Kevin Vallejos, who fights out of Argentina. All right, now we're on commercial break. Who's my favorite boxer, MMA fighter? That's a tough one. I mean, one of my favorite MMA fighters has to be Georges St. Pierre. Um, Boxers, probably my favorite boxer of all time is Archie Moore. Of fighters alive now, um, probably Manny Pacquiao. Of female fighters, MMA, definitely Amanda Nunes. Um, Female boxers, I would say Lucia Riker. How about yourself? Who are your favorites? All right, they're showing us back some highlights again. Yeah, I agree. GSP is one of the greatest ever MMA fighters, for sure. Um, I thought it was crazy when he came back and submitted Bisping. It was just so against the odds that he would be able to do that, and yet he did. So, yeah, I admire him for his characters, beyond his what he's able to do in the cage. Admire him for his work ethic, for his approach, all of that. All right, Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Vallejos. This is at featherweight, 145. Oh, it's Vallejos, not Vallejos. All right. So they're showing us some of Chikadze's knockouts, of course. Yeah, Tommy Hearns is a great fighter. So long and lean. Excellent study in how to fight if you have that natural build. Oh, Anderson Silva, yeah, the old Anderson Silva, sure. Yeah, early version, or the Anderson Silva at his prime. I mean, he was something to admire. I mean, my understanding is John Jones used to was like a fanboy of Anderson Silva. I don't know if he'll ever admit that, but all right. We're just between fights here, so they're at commercial break. Any other questions or thoughts about upcoming fights? Who do you guys have in Justin Gaethje versus Patty Pimblett? I'm gonna root for Gaethje. I mean, yeah, I've got to give credit to Floyd, but I don't think we can call him the best ever. Because, I mean, ever means ever, right? Of all time. And I just don't feel like it's fair to do that because his argument is that he never lost. But the counter argument to that is that Archimura has more than twice as many knockouts as Floyd has fights. So in an era where you're going to fight hundreds of times in your career, it's not fair to expect someone to have zero losses. I mean, that's if you told me someone is 150 or 200 and zero, I'd say, they bought all those fights or something. All right, still waiting for them to get back to the fights. We're on commercial break. Thanks for posing these questions, by the way, because it helps. Do you pay attention to any of the female fights? I'm not being sarcastic when I ask that. I'm just being serious because some combat sport fans don't really care about the female fights. But if you do, tell me which female fighters are your favorite. All right, here we go. Giga Chikadze. They're showing him getting ready to step in the cage. He's getting greased up by Don House. Chikadze's fights representing Georgia. Looks like he has Benil Dariush and I'm not sure who else that is. Cody No Love? No, I don't think so. No, somebody else. Cody Garbrandt, Cody No Love. Garbrandt? No. Anyways, Giga stands 6 feet tall for a 145 pounder. He's 37 years old, but his opponent, Kevin, excuse me, his opponent is younger. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather definitely has good defense. All right. All right. Chikadze versus Vachejos. This is the co-main event. So after this fight, it's the main event, and that's that. All right, here we go. Let's see what Giga can do. Both men are fighting out of orthodox stance. Giga with a lot of little small steps and jittery motion at the moment. Both men are fighting with a classic boxer's guard, hands held at about collarbone height. Right now, Giga's making a lot of feinting motion. But Jehos has not thrown, neither man has thrown any strikes yet. Everyone's just feigning each other out. Giga switched to southpaw stance and is. Oh, Giga opened up first with a attempted head kick. Now he switches back to orthodox stance. Now he switches back again. So I guess this is a theme for Chikadze that he'll switch stances throughout the fight. Oh, Chikadze misses with the inside kick, and Vachejos storms back with a couple of hard strikes that drives Chikadze back towards the cage. Back to center of the cage, and Vachejos remains quite poised. Just sticking right behind that high classic guard. Vachejos looks like he's just going to be patient here and not try to rush anything. Chikadze is now fighting out of southpaw stance. Chikadze's throwing his hands at a big distance, so it's like obviously those strikes aren't meant to land. I guess he's just trying to test the waters. I'm not sure why MMA fighters tend to do that, but Chejos looks like he's trying to inch his way in there behind little feint jabs. Oh, Chikadze opens up with a head kick with a kick to the body, and Vachejos catches it. Another two body kicks from Chikadze. A third body kick. Oh, and a flying knee attempt. Vachejos gets double unders, drives Chikadze back to the cage. The men are head to head here. One head next to the other. Chikadze's looking at the ref. Not sure what he's trying to motion. Chikadze. Well, Vachejos has the double underhooks and he's got the lock behind Chikadze's back. Vachejos Just threw a knee to the body. Under 2 minutes to go here. Oh, Chikadze's shin is bleeding really badly. He moves laterally, but Vachejos stays right on top of him. Still got those double unders and the lock. Chikadze has double overs. Chikadze goes a little bit limp for a moment. Chikadze is trying to throw punches to the back of Vachejos' opposite side head. Chikadze here fought and got an under. Nice work. Turns and gets off the cage. Throws another body kick to Vachejos. 1 minute to go here. And another body kick from Chikadze. Now he's fighting out a southpaw stance. Vachejos throws a lead right hand. Looks like Vachejos has decent boxing. Double jab overhand right from Vachejos. Got under a minute to go here in the very first round. But Chikadze looked like he was gonna try to throw a hook kick there, but didn't quite work. Throws a low kick. Vachejos responds with his own inside kick. Chikadze throws a kick. Vachejos catches it and throws a strike. Oh, nice lead right hand from Vachejos. Chikadze throws a spinning head kick and doesn't land, and that's the round. All right. We are on commercial break, guys. So the reason Chikadze's shin is bleeding is because he checked a kick. All right, so here we open with round 2. Again, Chikadze starts in southpaw stance, and Vachejos seems to stick to orthodox. Now there's a smear of blood on Vachejos' right ribs because of the blood that's pouring out of Chikadze's shin. Both men start out a little bit cautious here in the second round. But right away, Chikadze, as soon as he can, opens up with another attempted head kick and body kick from southpaw stance. I like how poised Vachejos is, though. Vachejos is making good use of his footwork. Oh, Chikadze landed a nice jab there that knocked Vachejos' head back. Vachejos is staying very poised and disciplined behind that guard. Chikadze misses a spinning back kick. Oh, nice overhand right by Vachejos. And another overhand right. Tries a third and a spinning back fist, and that's it. Wow. He outstrikes the striker. Chikadze fighting to get back up to his feet, and the ref just stops him. Chikadze saying, what? He doesn't know what happened. Wow, what a win. That was incredible. That was a meme right there. Vachejos is kind of clowning for the camera like he doesn't have a mark on his face, which he doesn't. Chikaze still seems a little bit confused. He's got the ref and some officials surrounding him. Yeah, it looked like they're right at the end. Chikaze waved Vachejos in. Vachejos responded with an overhand right and then a spinning back elbow that caught Chikaze when he was on the cage. Vachejos landed another strike as Chikaze was falling to the ground, and then he landed a series of elbows to the side of Chikaze's head, and the ref waved off immediately. So I don't think Chikaze knows what happened. Wow, that is the first time Chikaze's been knocked out, they're saying. That's crazy. All right, and we're back at commercial break. All right, I'm going to take a break for a second, so I'll be right back. Bisping is calling Vachejos one of the brightest prospects. I think Bisping is implying that he should be ranked number 15. Well, Vachejos is such an impressive cauliflower ear. Obviously, he spent a lot of time grappling. Um, Man, his ear looks like he's going to need to get surgery on that. Well, Vachejo is very humble. Says he's not nothing special. He doesn't have a special gift. He just worked hard. Yeah, his cauliflower ears were worse than Michael Bisping's. Wow, so Vachejo's calling out Cub Swanson. Yeah, so Bisping says you never know. He was in the corner. All right, well, very happy Vachejos. That is definitely a meme. His spinning back elbow to KO Giga Chikadze. Certainly, Giga Chikadze was a known entity before this fight. I'd never heard of Vachejos. All right, they're doing a little piece here on Kyoji Horiguchi, so guess they're gonna try to hype him up. Kyoji's a pretty big star in Japan already. He has over 30 something fights. I don't think he's as well known here in the US as he is in Japan. So it'll be a co-main event in February, Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Haraguchi. Yeah, so they're trying to hype up the events that are starting next in 2026. All right. All right, excuse me. So, yeah, they're just doing a little promo piece right now for February. Okay, we're about ready for the main event now, guys. So it's Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. This is kind of sort of the only fight I'm interested in. Well, I was interested in King Bobby King Green also. I was unimpressed with his performance tonight, but he got the win, so I hope that motivates him to step things up, both in his training and in his practice when he actually fights. I would like to see a little more activity from him. I mean, I feel like a performance like he gave tonight is not going to get him back on a a UFC numbered fight card. He's going to be stuck in these fight night cards if he doesn't perform better than what he did tonight. I'm guessing. Um, because even though he won, it wasn't a very entertaining fight, and it wasn't entertaining Not because Bobby Green doesn't try to be entertaining with all the trash talking, but it wasn't entertaining because there wasn't enough output from him, wasn't enough punch output or striking output. All right. We are still seeing ads right now for the fight that already took place on December 6th. I don't know why they're still running ads for that. All right, they're doing an interesting time lapse shot there from Vegas of people walking through the outside mall area. All right, now we have the main event: Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval. I'm gonna root for Royval. I'm not a big Kape fan, even though I have to admit he is an explosive fighter. Royval lost to the current champ, Josh Van. All right, who do you guys have in this matchup? Do you think Brandon Royval can overcome Manel Kape? A nice highlight reel that they put together for Brandon Royval. Well, Manel Kape is definitely an explosive striker. Um, I'm not into his personality. I think he's a little bit too arrogant, but technically speaking, he's an explosive striker. So I feel like he does have an advantage in that aspect. So while I'm rooting for Royval, I gotta admit I think that it could be Manal caught by a KO. So we'll see how this plays out. Who do you guys have in this fight? All right, enough with the highlight reels already. Let's see the fighters already. Come on. All right, here we go. Main event of the night. All right, they're showing the Apex Center. It's all green lights right at the moment. Not sure why. Okay, here comes Manal Kape fighting out of Angola. Alright, Manel Kape comes out with the, I guess it's the Angola flag, draped around him. It looks like he has two flags sewn together that he's using as his cape. Coming out, he's dancing, singing to himself. I guess this is how Manel Kape gets himself hyped up pre-fight. So here we go. The cut man's applying grease to his face, eyebrows, cheeks. Manel's still dancing while the cut man's putting the grease on. Officials checking him out, making sure he... Okay, Manel Kape in the cage. All right, Manel Kape has his little swagger dance going around in the cage in his blue corner area. Okay, let's see Brandon Royval make the walk. Okay, the lights go down. Now we're getting red lights. This is for Brandon Royval. Okay, here comes Brandon Royval, fighting out of Denver, Colorado. Oh, he's born in Denver, Colorado. Royval looks energized as well, coming out to kind of with a kind of a skip gait. All right, so Royval is disrobing. Okay, and the cut man, Don House, applies Vaseline to Royval's eyebrows, to his cheeks. The referee checks him out. Tells him to get in the cage, so Royval enters the cage. Makes the sign of the cross and he enters. Very energized Royval, just pacing back and forth. Right, Manel Kape is kind of calmed down a bit and he's more stationary, looking across a cage at Royval. All right, let's see how this plays out. They're very close in age. Royval is 33, Manel Kape is 32. Height-wise, Brandon Royval has a 4-inch height advantage. They both weighed in at 126. and they both have a reach of 68 inches. So this is a fairly evenly matched fight, unlike some of the fights on the other part of the main card. It wasn't a big wide gap in age, like over 10 years. All right, the ref is Herb Dean. Here we go. Bruce Buffer with the announcements. Yeah, here we go. He just did his "it's time" thing. Bruce Buffer announces Manel Kape. Apparently, he's fighting out of Thailand at the moment. Okay, now Bruce Buffer announces Brandon Royval. He's fighting out of Denver, Colorado. He has quite the scar on the back of his head, doesn't he? At least that's what I'm assuming it is, because there's a chunk of missing hair back there. All right, both fighters walk to center cage. Herb Dean has a few words for them. They touch it up. All right, and the fight is about to get underway. Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Say hi so we know who's here. We're watching UFC Fight Night. It's the main event, last fight of the night, last fight ever UFC on ESPN. This is Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Here we go, right away. We got Royval in southpaw stance. Looks like Manel might be switching, although right now he's in orthodox stance. So, oh yeah, Manel just switched. So he looks like he's a stance switcher. Probably do that the whole fight. So Royval's moving around on the outside. Royval's making some stuttery, fainting motions. Kape is, oh, nice little calf kick from Kape. Royval constantly feinting with the level change. Oh, nice jabs land for Royval. A good head movement by Royval too. He's not ducking anything, but he's just preemptively moving his head like that. Good level change feints by Royval. By setting up a rhythm like that, he's making himself unpredictable for Kape. Front kick attempt by Royval falls short. Still lots of jittery motion from Royval. He seems to be wanting to stay on the outside here. Nice 1-2 by Royval. Kape has yet to land anything significant. Good little feints by Royval with his body motion. Oh, and he lands a nice jab. Kape returns the jab out of southpaw position. Royval throws a kick. Kape catches it. Royval spins around. Royval throws a calf kick from the left side, and Kape catches it. Right, Kape throws a kick and misses completely, so he spins around. Royval with a very light touch body kick that touches but doesn't really land hard. Royval's being more the role of the boxer. He's moving around, feinting a lot. Manel is the one holding center cage. Nice 1-2 by Manel. Another body kick by Royval was caught by Kape. Another side kick was caught by Kape. Royval with another body kick attempt. Oh, nice left upper. Oh my gosh, is that it? That's it. That's it. Kape catches Royval with a left uppercut, right hand, drops him, and then follows up. That's it. Holy cow. Another meme. Royval is already up and walking around, talking to people outside the cage. Wonderful win for Manel Kape. The two fighters acknowledge each other. That's good to see. They hug it up, shake hands. All the officials around are surrounding the fighters. I guess they just want to make sure nothing happens. The doctor checks out Manel. So it was the overhand right first that dropped Royval, and then Royval's on the ground. Kape follows up with ground and pound, and that's it. Actually, I think it was a left uppercut that landed first, and then as Royval backed up towards the cage, Manel landed that right overhand right. Wow. Well, congrats to Manel Kape. So, yeah, like I said before the fight, even though I was rooting for Royval, I had to acknowledge that it could very well be Kape by KO because he's such an explosive fighter. All right, we're on commercial break. We're just waiting for them to let us come back. Oh, here we go. Wondering if they're going to show us a little more of the replay. Okay, what is Maria Full of Strength? It says it premieres after the conclusion of Fight Like Hell. Yeah, okay, so Royval gets stopped at 3 minutes 18 seconds of round 1 by KO by Manel Kape. Fortunately, Royval didn't get knocked out. He was right back on his feet. He's lucid, and the fighters hugged it up after the fight, acknowledge each other's corner. Excuse me, sorry. Let's see what Bisping has to say. All right, so Cop sounds like he's fluent in Portuguese. He's totally taking the mic from Mike Bisping. They turned off Manel Kop's sound in his interview. I don't know if that was all cursing and that's why they just turned it off, but Manel Cop just called out the champion. Manel Cop said there was no game plan. Brandon just has to get in the cage. Where I touch coma, where I touch hospital. He's funny. He warns everybody that he's coming for his belt. Well, that's very, very interesting. I don't know. Does he train with Nixick? I guess Nixick is part of his team. I don't know who these other fellows are. Well, guys, I'm gonna call it an evening. It's been, oh man, it's almost 3 hours. This has been a long stream. So, any final thoughts before we say goodnight here? All right, guys, thank you so much. Remember, you can always show your appreciation by leaving a super thanks or some jewels, or I mean, a super chat or some jewels or a gift. And you can also always leave a super thanks on any of the videos on this channel, and that'll all go towards the same good cause, which is to keep reinvesting the money in the channel to get a little bit better equipment, to pay for subscriptions to apps, to do better video editing, all of the above. I try to always just put the money back into the channel. Hi, thanks for joining us. We're about to end this almost 3 hour stream. So do hit the subscribe, do hit the bell so you know when we go live the next time. The next big fight I can think of in 2025 is December 27th, Naoya Inoue. However, I know for sure I will be caught up with holiday stuff, so I cannot promise you I will do a live stream then. That's going to be very difficult. But in any case, look, you guys have an awesome rest of your weekend. Happy Sunday. And we will see you again on Monday. All right, have a great one, you guys. Thank you so much. That's so kind. I really appreciate the little. Oh, that's such a cute little gift. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate the gift. So cute. It's a laughing disco ball. So cute. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That made my evening. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. So thank you so much to Dark Horse. I appreciate you. All right, guys, I will see you the next time. Be well.